When Mario plus Rabbids Kingdom Battle was announced in 2017, early reactions mocked the project and expectations were low. When it was released, critics and players were blown away by the addictive turn-based combat and charming characters. 5 years later, Ubisoft are back with a sequel, Mario plus Rabbids Sparks of Hope, which seeks to improve upon the original in every conceivable way. Is it a success, or does it fail to live up to the hype? In this video, I'll be going in-depth into all aspects of the game, section by section. At the end, you'll know whether it's the right game for you. With that out of the way, let's jump right into it, starting with the story. Following the events of Mario plus Rabbids Kingdom Battle, Mario and friends are living in harmony with their new Rabbid companions, until hordes of sparks, fusion of Luma and Rabbids, show up, pursued by Cursor, a shadowy entity spreading their corruptive influence throughout the universe. Cursor's influence is represented by darkness, inky black puddles and tentacles which pull matter into the darkness dimension. Mario, Luigi, Peach and their Rabbid doppelgangers, now joined by Rabbid Rosalina, Bowser and original character Edge, set off across the galaxy to find the missing guardians of the Luma, Princess Rosalina, put a stop to Cursor and their legion of spark hunters, and restore peace and order to the galaxy. I realize that sounds like quite an epic and extensive setup for a Mario game, and in many ways it is, but the story is told in a fun and cheery style, through cutscenes and voice dialogue. Additionally, voice memos can be found and listened to, and in each world you'll find pictures and artifacts, which give backstory to each of the worlds and the characters you'll find throughout. Most of this is pretty silly, and details events and lore that are of no consequence to Mario and the team. But that's okay, all this lore building is humorous and inconsequential, but there's a lot of creativity on display here from the writing staff. Original characters, or Planet Wardens as they're known, have these very convoluted and century-spanning backstories, and these make for nice asides, especially as they're commentated by your sassy robot companion Beepo. Despite the epic stakes, it gives the game a cozy and relaxed vibe, which I'm here for. Each world has plenty of side quests, which flesh out the world building further. For example, there's a side story involving a lumberjack tracking down his missing axe, in which you question residents in a police procedural style, with Beepo hilariously assuming the role of bad cop. These side quests never feel like distractions, and are fun and rewarding stories in their own right. Overall, the story isn't going to blow your mind, but for a Mario game, it's fun, cozy, rewarding, and engaging, held up by its great cast of characters. Mario, Luigi and Peach return and are their usual selves. Despite development of this game being handled by Ubisoft and not Nintendo, their characterization is consistent with all their previous appearances. Each character brings distinct weapons and special moves to battle. Mario is the eternal optimist, Luigi is the cowardly and goofier one, and Princess Peach is kind and brave. They've been given weapons which are hilarious and expand upon those given to them in Kingdom Battle. Mario is an all-rounder with 2 guns, Luigi is a sniper, and Peach now has an explosive umbrella shotgun. The sight of Princess Peach shooting Rabbids in the face with a shotgun will never cease to entertain me. Rabbid Peach, Rabbid Luigi, and Rabbid Mario make their triumphant return here. They've been given voice acting this time, which was pretty shocking to hear at first. In Kingdom Battle, they had very simple personalities for Rabbids cosplaying as their favorite characters. Voice acting has expanded their personalities, made them more distinct, and the game is all the better for it. Rabbid Peach is still vain and obsessed with her phone, but now makes comments using the language of millennials and social media. Her role in battle is healer, so upon healing she'll exclaim things like #healing or healing vibes, literally, in that SoCal accent. It sounds cringe with me describing it, but in the game it actually works. Rabbid Luigi has an optimistic rapper personality and makes comments like funky fresh and Taco Tuesday. Rabbid Mario has been given what I'm guessing is a Greek accent to counter Mario's Italian one, and he now plays a bouzouki in his idle animation. He has an arrogant jerk personality, which provides most of the laughs in the game. Bowser makes his playable debut here as an explosive weapons expert. He's joining the heroes to take back his army of minions that have been brainwashed by Cursor. Not much to say here, but the game emphasizes his funnier qualities. New character Rosalina makes her debut, and she has a bored, sleepy, and apathetic personality. She has fun lines, and I love the idea of a Rabbid Rosalina, but she probably makes the least interesting impression in terms of characterization. Rounding out the team is Ubisoft's original Rabbid creation, Edge. I can tell the team took a lot of pride in designing an original Rabbids warrior character for this game, and it shows in her striking design. She has a woman of few words personality, and is connected to the Spark Hunters, mid-bosses dispatched by Cursor. I'm all in for an original character, but sadly Edge does not make as strong of an impression as I expected. I thought her role in the storyline would be more important, and it's hard to take her serious personality seriously, as she is still a rabbit after all. The Spark Hunters take the role of mid-bosses. We have Midnight, Bedrock, and another which I won't spoil. They have interesting designs and fun personalities, and make strong first impressions, but sadly disappear from the game all too quickly. The presence of Edge and the Spark Hunters makes me wonder if Ubisoft is setting them up to take over the IP without Mario characters. If that's the case, what we have here doesn't make a strong argument in favor of doing that. I suspect we will see more of them in the game's second DLC, which seems to feature another Spark Hunter-like character. The enemies are a mix of classic Mario enemies like Bob-ombs and Goombas, and new Rabbid characters. These range from ranged units, brawlers, crushers, healers, and more. There's a decent amount of variety here, but sadly a lot of enemy types are repeated, with just elemental differences. However, I love these designs. Seeing Rabbids as capable fighters is hilarious, but also allows us to see the Rabbids in a newer and less annoying light. I won't get into Cursor for the sake of spoilers, but I really do like this design. Other Rabbid NPCs have a nice variety of designs and personalities. The titular Sparks are cute enough to get made into plushies and are a cheerful presence throughout the game. And I can't end this section without giving special mention to the real MVPs here, Beepo and Genie. In Kingdom Battle, I had assumed Beepo was female, but now it's fully voiced with a sassy and fastidious male personality. He has an upper-class British accent and is easily disgusted by Rabbids' behavior. This little Roomba companion assists and commentates the game, and his dialogue is utterly hilarious and gives this game its personality. I didn't expect this, but Beepo was my favorite character in the game. Bouncing off of him is Genie, an AI program he created to run the new spaceship. She experiences the universe and characters from an outsider's perspective and has a drier and clueless personality. However, as the game progresses, she gradually gains sentience and affection for her creator Beepo, which was the most emotionally investing storyline, and it culminates in an unexpected and heartwarming way. I didn't expect to enjoy the robot characters in a game literally titled Mario plus Rabbids, but here we are. Overall, despite juggling a huge cast of characters, the game never feels bloated, and it's a real pleasure spending time with all of them. Mario Universe characters remain true to themselves, and the usually insufferable Rabbids never get tiresome and annoying. Smartly, Ubisoft has downplayed the more annoying aspects of them and emphasized their cuter and funnier qualities, while simultaneously injecting them with more personality than ever before. It's a true joy spending time with this cast as you navigate this game's environments. Like Kingdom Battle, this game takes place in a universe where the universes of Mario and Rabbids have merged. This time there's no explanation for the merger, and the game is better for it, just starting straight out of the gate. This game you're no longer in the Mushroom Kingdom, but exploring multiple planets across the universe. Ubisoft have clearly taken inspiration from Super Mario Galaxy here. The planets you'll visit include a tropical beach, a frozen mountaintop, an autumnal forest, and more. While these might sound like typical Mario environments, the opposite is true. These look, feel, and play unlike anything in Mario games, and that's a good thing. Considering the strategic gameplay style, having runnable and jumpable sprawling environments wouldn't make much sense. Ubisoft is clearly having fun creating original environments to run around in, and the handcrafted visual style makes for some standout art direction. The first planet, Beacon Beach, is no typical beach, as it's littered with giant pieces of Rabbid junk, like a tape dispenser, cardboard crown, Rabbid statues, and more. It retains the wackier vibe of the Rabbids universe and Kingdom Battle, but it's enhanced by the creative and visually pleasing environmental topography and landscapes. This time these worlds are large open areas, a huge change from the linear corridor of Kingdom Battle. It's a significant improvement as it gives you a chance to explore, and you'll need to do a lot of exploring if you wish to 100% the main campaign, side quests, and collectibles. During battle sequences, you're transported to the Darkness dimension. The dimensional shift remixes the world's environmental theme with impossible architecture to create a space for you to battle. This is how you'll seamlessly transition from an encounter in the overworld or quest gateway to a battle. This is dynamic and fun, and a huge change from Kingdom Battle, in which you'd walk through the overworld from battle arena to battle arena in a predetermined order. Now, every time a battle starts, you won't know what kind of arena or opponents you'll be presented with. It's exciting and fun as there'll be something new and unexpected every time, and no two players will have the same journey through the game. The excellent environments exist to support the gameplay, which is divided evenly into two halves, combat and exploration. This is a real-time strategy game, and combat makes up the bulk of the gameplay. Think a cuter version of Fire Emblem. In the battle arena, you can choose from any 3 characters, and assign them up to 2 of the Sparks, which can power up their weapon, unleash an extra attack, summon assistant characters, and more. Each character has a unique special move, like a counter, debuff, shield, healing, and more. Unlike Kingdom Battle, you can choose a team of any 3 characters. If you want all Mario characters, that's fine. If you want all Rabbids, go for it. A mix of the two, there are no restrictions here, and it's a relief. All of the characters are well balanced this time, and all of them are fun to use. And unlike Kingdom Battle, none of the characters are capable of friendly fire anymore, which makes all characters usable and satisfying. In the first game, I never used Rabbid Mario, because it was too easy to accidentally shoot your teammates, and thankfully we don't have to worry about it now. I found myself rotating between different characters, and was unable to find a favorite team, as all of them are distinctly different but fun to use. You'll get a different experience each battle, preventing battles from feeling repetitive. Unlike Kingdom Battle, you're no no longer confined to grid-based movement. The number of squares a character can move has been replaced with an area of movement. I was apprehensive about this change at first. I wasn't sure how it would work, but thankfully it works smoothly, and I feel like I can't ever go back to the grid-based style of Kingdom Battle. I would even advocate for Fire Emblem to replace its grid-based battle system with free movement after this. In the area of movement, you can dash through opponents, jump off allies for an increased range of movement, and pick up and throw projectiles. While still moving, you can use a Spark's power or your special ability. This is your chance to buff your weapon, cause additional damage, summon an ally, or a whole bunch of other abilities, too innumerable to list here. Firing your weapon will end your ability to move. You're allowed 2 action points per turn, meaning you'll need to choose carefully between your weapons, spark, special ability, or healing item. Ending the battle is usually achieved by defeating all enemies, but there are other victory types like reach a certain area, survive a certain number of turns, or defeat a boss. While this all sounds like a convoluted and overwhelming game of 5-dimensional chess, battling never feels too complicated, and remains satisfying and addictive. It's fun to plan your moves in advance and watch your strategy pay off. When your opponent backs you into a corner, it's fun adapting to it and planning your way out. Difficulty of battles is mostly consistent, but consistency varies towards the end. The difficulty does spike, and the survival maps after the spike are especially troublesome, as the game will send wave after wave of enemy at you, depleting your health. And without the right sparks or Rabid Peach, I found myself losing them and having to change my strategy, or just skipping the battles entirely. Once you unlock enough sparks and power up your team with the skill tree, the reach area ones become laughably easy. With the right combination of sparks and party members, you'll be able to jump over all obstacles and clear the battle in just 1 turn. Still, it doesn't detract from the overall experience of battling, which remains addictive and challenging. Between battles, you'll be doing a lot of exploring and puzzle solving. It's jarring at first that Mario can't jump in these 3D open areas. However, this is not the first Mario game where Mario has had restricted jumping capabilities, and it's par the course for his RPG outings like in the Mario and Luigi series or Paper Mario. While it does feel like a strange omission at first, as navigating these worlds would be easier with the ability to jump, it eventually makes sense when solving navigational puzzles. Environmental puzzles are necessary to progress the story or complete side quests, and these usually involve sliding blocks, pressing switches, using B-Post scan ability to reveal secret areas, and generally just using your brain to figure out how to solve a puzzle. Each world has a challenge zone with a harder puzzle to solve, and then solve again with a time limit. The environmental puzzles are reminiscent of what you'd find in something like Legend of Zelda. I love these puzzles. They were one of the best parts of Kingdom Battle, and they've returned and been expanded upon here. There's nothing quite like that dopamine hit when solving a video game puzzle, and Sparks of Hope provides them in spades, but it never feels like too much of a good thing. However, the worst part of exploration is the ability to run. Walking does feel sluggish for a Mario game, and you can thankfully run here, but the running is mapped to the X button. I can't think of a single other game where running is on X. You can't hold it down while you rotate the camera, so I found myself either tapping it repeatedly and rotating camera in between taps, or using the claw grip with my bent index finger holding it down while using my thumb to operate the camera. I would not recommend this, as you'll strain your hand. This is the most bizarre decision of the game, and lets down the experience, especially during the time attack puzzles when running is necessary. Overall, the gameplay of Sparks of Hope is fun and rewarding. I didn't find battles complicated, and wasn't frustrated by Mario's lack of a jump. Gameplay is helped a lot by the game's performance. Not much to say here, but the game looks good and runs pretty well. Textures, assets, lighting, and character models are significantly upgraded from Kingdom Battle, and a lot of care has gone into maximizing what the Switch is capable of. The UI is also clean and easy to navigate. Occasionally, the frame rate does slow to a crawl during puzzle sections. This happens when you clear a darkness barrier. The barrier evaporates into particles, and it's this one particle effect that slows the frame rate down. It only happens occasionally through the game, and it is jarring when it happens, but thankfully the frame rate is always consistent during battle. Loading times between exploration and battle are a bit long, and some are longer than others. When starting an enemy encounter, it sucks that you're presented with a long blank loading screen, which takes some time to pass. Similarly, opening menus from the overworld takes a few seconds longer than it ought to. It does interrupt your rhythm and flow state, but thankfully the gameplay sections more than make up for it. Regardless, it is a Mario game for the Nintendo Switch in 2022. It looks as good as it can, but nothing here is going to blow your mind. However, what will blow your mind is this game's music and sound. Holy f***ing shit. The music department really pulled out all the stops here. I've been of the opinion for a while now that video game music is better than film music, and this game proves it. Ubisoft recruited 3 outstanding composers to score this game. Some of the industry's finest who come from wildly different backgrounds and have wildly different styles, but all 3 distinct sounds work seamlessly together to make not just one of the best Mario soundtracks, but one of the best game soundtracks I've ever heard. First we have Yoko Shimomura, the goddess of JRPG music. She's worked on the Kingdom Hearts and Mario & Luigi series, so her bouncier style of JRPG music is right at home here. Her music underscores the more exciting battles, giving an epic quality to combat, matching the universe-alteringly high stakes of the story. These tracks immerse you and tighten your focus when planning your moves. Next is Grant Kirkhope, returning from Kingdom Battle. He's a childhood hero, known for his work on the Banjo-Kazooie series, and having worked on other games like Donkey Kong 64 and Yooka-Laylee. His tracks underscore the more wackier moments of the game, as well as a lot of the important moments in the story. Overall, his contributions feel a lot less wackier than his previous work, as they're fully orchestrated and have these bombastic horn sections. These tracks further contribute to the epic scale of the adventure. And finally, we have tracks by Gareth Coker, best known for his work on the Ori series. I was apprehensive about his inclusion here, as the Ori games are best known for their atmospheric and moody music, but I had nothing to worry about. His tracks tend to start soft and build into climaxes, which gives the game a cinematic quality, and enhances your curiosity as you explore the galaxy. The fact that Ubisoft managed to unite one of Japan's greatest living composers with 2 fantastic Western composers is nothing short of a gaming miracle. All 3 of them are at the top of their games here, and unexpectedly, all 3 of their contributions somehow make a cohesive whole. It's yet another incredible soundtrack this year, and is definitely worth listening to outside of the game. Thankfully, Ubisoft has made the soundtrack available on YouTube, Spotify, and Apple Music, something that Nintendo refused to do for their games. Truly an outstanding achievement. The sound effects in the game are as pleasant as they come, especially in battle. The sound effects used in battle help you keep track of what's going on. I mentioned the voice acting earlier, and it's another strong point of this game. The Rabbids are voiced this time, have more personality, and I'm definitely here for it. Undoubtedly the best voices are Beepo and Genie, who have some of the funniest vocal performances in recent memory. Sparks of Hope is an unmissable treat for the years, and that just leaves my final thoughts. Mario plus Rabbids Sparks of Hope is a triumphant achievement from Ubisoft. It improves upon every single aspect of Kingdom Battle, and polishes them to a new shiny chrome standard. The sheer variety of environments, gameplay, and music are wrapped up into a cute and exciting package. Fans of turn-based strategy will find a lot of enjoyment here, and newcomers to the genre will still be able to jump into it. Overall, this is a more mature Mario experience, so the only downside is younger players might not find it as immediately rewarding as something like 3D World or Odyssey, and the glow-up from Kingdom Battle completely blew me away. It's a worthwhile 30 to 40 hour experience, and is well worth adding to your Switch collection. Sadly, this game released here in Japan later than other territories, and was released to minimal marketing and fanfare. Releasing only a couple of weeks after Scarlet and Violet, Japan's fastest selling game of all time, it seems for whatever reason Nintendo didn't have much faith in it, and it's been forgotten about in the middle of all the Pokemon mania. And it's a damn shame, because it's significantly better than the new Pokemon games. I have no idea how well it was marketed in other countries, so please let me know your experiences. I'm pretty excited for Sparks of Hope DLC, which will add a challenge mode and 2 story expansions. They haven't given a lot of details, but my guess is the first story expansion will resolve a lot of the Spark Hunter stuff, resolving the threads of the Spark Hunter storyline, fleshing out these characters, and possibly making them playable. It's possible that Edge and the Spark Hunters will continue this IP without Mario characters, or lead their own spin-off, so it makes sense to spotlight them here in DLC. The final DLC expansion we already know will feature Ubisoft's much-neglected mascot, Rayman. I absolutely cannot wait for this. This will likely be a standalone adventure, much like the Donkey Kong expansion of Kingdom Battle. When these expansions release and I play them, I'll cover them here on this channel. So, have you played Sparks of Hope? What did you think? Still undecided? Whatever you think, leave a comment below and I'll answer every single one of them. And if you like this review, drop a like for the algorithm. It helps get my videos out there and helps me grow the channel. And if you want more game reviews and discussions, don't forget to hit subscribe. If you'd like to hear my spoiler discussion and DLC predictions for Pokemon Scarlet and Violet, continue on to this video here. Thanks for listening to me ramble, and I'll see you next time.